Nigeria reassures ECOWAS of its leadership role in the promotion of peace, democracy and development. Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole degrades another hideout in Sambisa Forest. Nigeria's First Lady honors members of God's Brigade, and these and more on Panorama today. With me, Rhoda Anonam. Nigeria is reassuring the West African sub-region that it will not abdicate its leadership role in the region for the continuous promotion of peace, democracy and development. Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Mustafa Suleiman, gave the assurance in a message to a reception for delegates of the recently concluded ECOWAS Administration and Finance Committee meeting in Abuja. Our Foreign Desk correspondent, Makut Simon Macham, has the report.
After intensive discussions brainstorming on the funding of the ECOWAS Commission and the management of its organs, members of the Administration and Finance Committee were hosted by Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Here, they were welcomed by Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, Lord Egopija, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Mustafa Suleiman.
I would like to assure you of Nigeria's commitment in collaboration with ECOWAS Commission and its institution for the promotion of peace and political stability in the region.
Members of the committee emphasized the strategic significance of the body and were full of praises for Nigeria's leadership in the sub-region.
This is a technical committee, experts that usually have a robust, academic, brilliant discussions. It is an organ whereby they discuss virtually every ECOWAS issue.
We hope Nigeria will continue being the big brother in our sub-region, followed by Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire and all the others. But we owe a debt of gratitude to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for standing there in the name of regional integration and in the name of peace and security.
The decisions of the committee will form the agenda for the ECOWAS Council of Ministers meeting leading to the summit of the heads of state. In Abuja, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the European Union Election Observer Mission to Nigeria has released its final report on the 2019 general elections with 30 recommendations. Key amongst the recommendation is the improvement in future electoral process. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The European Union Election Observation Mission says INEC has significantly improved in its electoral process, but some of the systemic relapse seen in the 2019 general elections and the relatively low levels of voter participation demands electoral reform. The 30 recommendations prioritizes 7 key areas, including the need to strengthen INEC procedures for the collation of results to improve integrity and confidence in electoral outcomes.
The Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, chaired by INEC, included all of the responsibility security agency. We recommend that in the future it works more transparently and inclusively by holding regular consultation with political parties and civil society.
There are aspects of the report that we think are vague and are not definitive enough. For instance, if they say the results collation process is not transparent enough, I expect them to be very clear as to what they expect to happen over and above or beyond what we have in the Electoral Act presently.
Meanwhile, the presidency has welcomed the report of the European Union on the 2019 general elections in Nigeria, promising to analyze it and act on the recommendations. A statement from the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, questioned the results of the presidential election. It adds that it is a further proof that the polls reflected the overall will of Nigerians and that the world is solidly behind the re-election of President Buhari. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Now, with the sole purpose of strengthening and solidifying its political mandate, the Labour Party held its national convention to brainstorm on ways and strategies in which the party can become a more formidable player in the political space. Patricia Isamiluba reports.
It was a gathering of members of the Labour Party. The agenda was to elect new party officials and strategize on actualizing the vision and mission of the party for the next 4 years. The event had in attendance representatives of the party across the geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Highlight of the party convention was the election of candidates into office under the close supervision of the national chairman and the organizing committee.
Those who support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. It's really elected.
The National Party chairman in his remark assured Nigerians of the party's commitment to providing a realistic system of governance in line with democratic rule.
We have come to chart a new course for our great party by electing officers that will manage the affairs of our party for the next 4 years. The Labour Party will address the issue of political power, not as an end, but as a vehicle for national transformation and governance which is consistent with the tenets of social democracy.
The newly elected officials on their part promised to discharge their duties in line with the party's vision, promising to promote service to the people rather than self. The office of the National Vice Chairman for the geopolitical zones, National Secretary, and Deputy National Secretary were among elective positions confirmed at the convention. Patricia Isamiluba, NTA News.
And a report just reaching us says the Supreme Court has fixed the 5th of July 2019 to deliver judgment on the Osun governorship election. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, led other 6-man panel of justices in hearing the appeal filed by the PDP candidate Ademola Adeleke against the victory of Governor Boyega Oyetola in the election. Ademola Adeleke is challenging the verdict of the Court of Appeal, which nullified the judgment of the Osun State Governorship Tribunal. The Apex Court also ruled that the appellant should consolidate the 3 other cases that are related to the principal matter pending before it. The trial and the appellant court gave 2 dissenting judgments. And moving on, the Nigerian Air Force says its Air Task Force of Operation Lafiya-Dole has degraded another Boko Haram hideout in Sambisa Forest. In a statement by the NAF Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibukunle Daramola, the operation was executed on the 16th of June 2019 after persistent intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance mission revealed the presence of Boko Haram terrorists at the new camp with several structures hidden under the thick foliage of the forest. Accordingly, an Alpha jet was dispatched to attack the location with devastating effect on several of the camouflage structures and neutralizing the Boko Haram occupants. The Collapse Disarmament and Amnesty Initiative of Zamfara State Government will be revived and pursued with greater vigor and commitment towards addressing the prevailing security challenges in the state. The newly posted Commissioner of Police, Zamfara State Command, made this known at a media briefing in Gusau. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
It will be recalled that the immediate past administration in Zamfara State had in 2016 set up an amnesty and disarmament committee as part of strategies to restore a lasting peace in the state. Before the collapse of the committee in 2017, it succeeded in reaching out to some of the bandits in the bush who voluntarily surrendered some assorted weapons, including a rocket launcher. The new Commissioner of Police and Forest State Command, Osman Nakogu, says the initiative will be revived and pursued with all sense of sincerity and commitment towards achieving the set objective. CP Nakogu, who served as chairman of the committee when he was Deputy Commissioner of Police in the state, identifies dialogue and less use of force as panacea to the lingering security challenges that have bedeviled the state.
In achieving peace, more of dialogue and less use of force is desirable. In 2016, dialogue was applied and it works. In 2017, the security agents were used, it also works to some extent.
CP Nogogo says he will give premium to community participation, groups engagement and interaction with traditional rulers for effective intelligence gathering in accordance with the initiatives of the Inspector General of Police. He applauded the zeal being displayed by the Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad towards the process of achieving a lasting peace and advocated for enhanced synergy amongst the various security agencies and the state for better result. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Now, the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has emphasized the need for women to continue to be role models in various fields of endeavors. This, she says, will inspire the younger generation to contribute meaningfully to national development. Mrs. Buhari stated this at a dinner in honor of members of Guards Brigade, female military and police officers who participated at the parade during the maiden edition of June 12 Democracy Day celebration. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
These are the smiley faces of the gallant female military and police officers who entertained both domestic and international guests with what many refer to as brilliant performance during the maiden edition of June 12 Democracy Day Parade at Eagle Square, Abuja. The discipline, passion, and the high sense of professionalism they displayed at the event is what attracted the First Lady of Nigeria to honor them this evening with optimism of gingering them to do more in their service to the nation.
It is with all sense of pride and happiness I watched your recent display of high sense of commitment, patriotism, professionalism, and dedication through your performance. On those landmark occasions, the accuracy, discipline, and focus with which you all carried at your assigned tasks is worthy of commendation.
Mrs. Buhari is particularly delighted with their courage and confidence, as some of them are wives and mothers, yet they have broken the gender barriers to excel in what is generally believed to be a man's world.
Let me say you have won the hearts of Nigerians, including mine. You have also endeared many young ladies and even men to join military service and contribute in the protection of our dear nation, Nigeria.
The underlying messages in their performance indicate that women are also capable and can do well when given responsibilities.
While expressing appreciation for this recognition, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, alongside Commander Gas Brigade, Brigadier General Umar Thama Musa, described the development as unprecedented, adding that the responsibility they have exhibited is indelible in the minds of Nigerians.
It is therefore right to say that all citizens that have had the opportunity of participating in the series of events have registered their indelible services in the history books of our nation.
This evening event is very significant as it will boost the morale of my female soldiers far above and beyond normal heights.
You have, through this gesture and your innovative leadership style, inspired us to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more.
The young female officers of Guard Brigades are the combination of the military formation comprising Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, and the Nigerian Police. The State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we have more stories. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
You're welcome back, and if you've just joined us, you're watching Panorama on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Father's Day is a day set aside worldwide to honor and recognize the role of fatherhood. In Nigeria, the day is well celebrated, especially in most churches across the nation. At the Aso Villa Chapel in Abuja, where eminent Nigerians joined Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to celebrate the day, fathers are reminded of their critical role and responsibilities not only to their household, but the entire society. State House correspondent Judy Onifade has the report.
This is the mood here at the Aso Villa Chapel on this occasion of the 2019 Father's Day celebration. And there is every reason for the congregation's celebration, especially those who are fathers and those old enough to be fathers. Apart from being the head of their various households, which comes with the task of providing for the needs of the family, for some, having the backing of the people and surmounting the burden of governance is enough cause to celebrate. Every good deed has its reward, and this is true as the people present special artworks to President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and the Secretary to Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, including service chiefs. Deputy Senate President Ovie Omagege receives a present, and also on behalf of the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And of course, the chaplain of the church, Sheyi Malomo, and the administrator, Reverend Isaac Ambi Peters. So much in terms of celebration, but it's also a time truth must be told.
Train your children to follow your footsteps.
The responsibility of a father is incredible indeed. And I think one of the most important is to teach our men, young men growing up, that they must honor women. They must honor women.
Not more about the celebration, it is about the constant reminder of our role and responsibilities as fathers. And my message out there is that we must live up to that responsibility because it's a trust that God has vested into our hands.
You must discipline your children with the rod of correction. It's allowed. The role of the mothers and fathers is simple, and we do it every day. It's prayer. We are women that are on our knees, and we carry all our problems and our cares to the Lord. And as we pray for our husbands, we pray for our children every day. Our God is a good God. He always answers.
From the Aso Villa Chapel, Jide Onifade, NT News.
More than 1,900 youths across Nigerian states and the Federal Capital Territory will be presenting their petitions to the governors, parliamentarians and policymakers on the need to act on commitments to increase access to quality education to all children, especially girls. This is coming as the world marks the Day of the African Child with the theme Humanitarian Action, Children's Rights First. Olayin Kaujo reports.
On June 16, 1976, hundreds of students were shot in Soweto, South Africa, while demonstrating for their rights to quality education. To honor their courage, the Organization of African Unity, now African Union in 1991, established the Day of the African Child.
Today in Africa, we have over 59 million children who are not in school and learning.
With more than 10 million children in Nigeria unable to access safe and quality education, these young advocates are using this rally to hold the newly elected government officials at their campaign promises.
Support evidence-based planning and funding in education sector through the development of a well-articulated participatory developed education sector plan.
Provision of key watch facilities in at least 50% of schools.
Allocation and release of resources for education, especially 50% of the education budget to go for basic education.
While calling for improved school infrastructure, massive enrollment to bring all children to school, and targeted investment to ensure uninterrupted 12 years of school for girls, this 9-year-old girl, Shise Allah, a poet, is advocating for the provision of more incentives for female teachers, as this will increase enrollment of girls in school.
Education. It leads us to the path of prosperity and gives our tomorrow a sounding security.
The event, taking place in 10 states and the FCT, also featured the release of UNICEF Passport to Your Rights, expected to reach every Nigerian child by 2030. Olayin Kaujo, NTA News.
And in the world of sports, Senegal on Sunday defeated Nigeria by a lone goal in their last international friendly ahead of AFCON 2019 in Egypt. For other reports also, we'll join Amanzi Marcus.
Nigerian athletes who want to represent